Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Grant, and I've been a full-time energy healer for about 11 years now. Did some healing before that as well, before I was full-time. And this will be the first of hopefully many videos on stories, anecdotes if you like, of healing experiences in my career. So hopefully it will give people who want to be a healer an idea of what it's like to be a healer, but also people who haven't received healing before and would like to sort of get an idea of what it's like to be healed and what you can expect. And these stories will hopefully give you some idea. And I will be covering everything from one healing, amazing, whole life changed just in one session, to people who took much more sessions, many months, many years. And of course, I will cover some stories where things didn't go quite so well, or where I had to refer to other people, or where they needed extra help in some other way, or where healing really wasn't the main thing that would help them in the end. I won't be mentioning any names of any of the people I worked on for obvious reasons. Many of them wouldn't want me to mention anyway. And very similar to my testimonials on my website, there's plenty of people who didn't really want their name on there. And there are a few names that aren't their proper name, they're just nicknames or altered names, just to protect their privacy. So I'll be doing the same here, just not mentioning any names. The first story I will cover is something that happened very early in my career. This was actually before I was a full-time healer. And at the time I was still working as an osteopath in New Zealand, in Christchurch. And this was after I had done an Auric-magnetic healing course. So if you want to check out the particular technique from that course, please do check out magnetic-healers.org, I think it's called, the website, Auric-magnetic healers. I will put a proper link in the description below afterwards. And of course, anyone who wants to learn that particular technique from those people, as far as I'm aware, the only teachers are in New Zealand, unfortunately. But you can visit their website and experience healings from other Auric-magnetic healers if you wanted to. So yeah, basically I was using the Auric-magnetic healing technique on this particular person, which is essentially just scanning the aura with my hands, feeling for any resistance with my hands, and then just picking up anything I felt that was resistance and throwing it away. That's basically the technique. Anyway, this guy first came to me for my osteopathic skills. So he came to have an osteopathic adjustment, got to know him a fair bit, and after the course of several months, he realized that I did healing as well, that I'd completed this energy healing course. And so I did actually start experimenting with doing a little bit of healing after doing an osteopathic adjustment. And, you know, he was quite interested in what I did and said he felt better, even though it was only, you know, a few minutes here and there. And so I did invite him to have a proper session. And he would come along to a room that I borrowed off a good friend in New Zealand who was a massage therapist, and she also did flower essences, that kind of thing. Thank you, Michelle, by the way, if you're out there listening to this, for your room. So yeah, he would come along, and it was very infrequent. It wasn't every week, but we would do sessions over the next few months, on and off. And he would always say, oh, he felt a little bit better each time. But he never really spoke about what he had. I will get onto that in a minute. But essentially, you know, he was just interested in healing, wanted to feel healthier. That's all I really knew at the time. But I do remember at the start that when I would scan his aura and find something a bit, you know, uncomfortable with my hand and I would pick it up and throw it, it wouldn't necessarily be thrown away very easily. So I would try and pick up this energy I felt that was quite dense, and sometimes it would go away okay, and other times it felt like it just went straight back into the aura. And so one of the techniques I remember on the course was, well, one thing you can do was to pick up the energy and walk away from the person until it feels like, it's more easily able to be thrown away. It's almost like elastic, it's quite dense energy, and you pick it up and you walk away, and then several meters or 10 meters away it feels like, okay, it's not quite so sticky to the aura of this person anymore, and now I can throw it away and it doesn't come back anymore. So I remember doing that quite a bit with this person, and in fact I had to walk out of the room where he was, where I was healing him, out of the door, out of the entranceway of the house and out of the front door, and a few meters into the garden before it felt like, okay, it's going to release now, and then I would throw it away. So the energy felt that sticky, that dense, that it felt like at the time that's what I needed to do. And then I'd walk back into the room, scan again, pick up some more, and walk 10, 12, 15 meters until it felt like, okay, that's not sticking to the body so much anymore. Off it goes. And I do remember that he said that it felt much deeper, the healing that way, making sure that it was released from the aura properly. And then I don't know how many sessions it was in. It was definitely quite a few months in. He finally admitted why he wanted healing. I didn't question him, by the way. I didn't pressurize him. I just thought he was curious for healing and wanted to be healthier. But he finally told me that he had been diagnosed 5 years, 7 years, something like that, I can't remember, ago, that before the appointment, that he had cancer in his lymphatic system. I wasn't really sure which sort of cancer it was in his lymphatic system. But he, had been diagnosed that many years ago, and he hadn't been given that long to live, and without treatment, which he was refusing. So he didn't go along with any of the official ways of treating that particular condition. He just wanted to do his own thing. And so he hadn't been treated for this for all those years, and managed to be fine, for all these years after he'd been diagnosed. And yeah, he finally admitted that's what it was. That's what I was treating, and that's what he said he felt like was improving. So we continued for a number of more sessions over the next 2 months. And he said after some time that he'd had an appointment with the doctors, had more tests done, and he says that he was clear of that cancer now. So I want to be very clear here. You cannot say as a healer that you cure cancer. So in this regard, I helped him clear his cancer, which is actually more true on many levels, because my view of energy healing is, you're not really the one doing the healing as an energy healer. It's really the person you're working on that's allowing that change to take place. You're just the permission slip, if you like, to give them the excuse or the choice to heal themselves. So yeah. So from that perspective, it's not really me doing the healing anyway. But yeah, so he was very happy with that. And to my knowledge, after all those years, he's still free of that cancer in his lymphatic system, and very happy about it. He's still, so the last time I contacted him was just after leaving New Zealand, I think, in an email. And he still hadn't told his family. He was adamant that if he had told his family and his friends, that they would worry for him because cancer is seen as such a bad thing, a negative thing, a scary thing for a lot of people. And so his view was that he didn't want his friends and family knowing, because he felt that they would actually manifest or at least help maintain the problem or bring it back. So as far as I know, last time I was in contact with him, he didn't want any of his family members knowing at all. So yeah, that's one story of many, the first story of many, hopefully. Yeah, and if you're interested more in that particular technique of picking up energy and throwing it, please do have a look at my Learn Energy Healing series, and please check out the Auric-magnetic healers. I think it's called magnetichealers.org, but yeah, like I said earlier, I'll put the proper link down below if you want to check them out and experience a healing from them, or myself, of course. And yeah, so please do like and subscribe, and if you want to support this channel, and I will see you in the next video.